I watched my husband kiss another woman in front of 1,000 people. He didn't see me standing there. He never saw me anymore. But tonight they'd all see me, and he'd finally understand what he'd thrown away. My name was about to change everything. If you've ever felt invisible to someone who promised to see you forever, hit that like button. You're going to want to see how this ends. Trust me. My name is Nalani Okafor, and 3 years ago, I married a man who made me believe I was his entire world. Grayson was charming, ambitious, brilliant. On our wedding day, he held both my hands and promised me we'd build an empire together. Partner to partner, equal to equal. I believed him. God, I believed every word. Tonight, I'm standing in our bedroom, this massive marble sanctuary that somehow feels smaller than a prison cell, and I'm getting ready for the Tech Innovators Gala alone. Again. I can hear him downstairs on the phone, and his voice has this warmth in it that I haven't heard directed at me in months, maybe longer. I pause, my hands shaking as I try to clasp the diamond necklace he gave me for our 2nd anniversary. That was the last time a gift from him felt real. The last time anything between us felt real. I hear him laugh. It's genuine, unguarded, the kind of laugh that used to be mine. Then I hear the words that make my blood run cold. I can't wait to see you tonight, beautiful. There's a pause. I know. Just a few more hours. I miss you too. The way he says it, soft and intimate, like a caress through the phone. He used to talk to me like that. My fingers finally managed to close the clasp, but I'm gripping the edge of the dresser so hard my knuckles have gone white. Who is B? Because that's what I saw on his phone screen last week. Just the letter B with a heart emoji. I told myself I was paranoid. I told myself I was imagining things. But you know that feeling in your gut when you just know? When your intuition is screaming so loud you can't ignore it anymore? That's where I am right now. The car ride to the gala is torture. We're sitting in the back of our Tesla, him on one side, me on the other, and there's this canyon of silence between us that feels wider than the Grand Canyon itself. I try to bridge it. I really do. Grayson, I say softly, can we talk about... But he's already on his phone, typing away, and that smile is back on his face. That smile that isn't for me. He doesn't even look up. Doesn't even acknowledge I spoke. I've become a ghost in my own marriage. That's the thought that keeps circling my mind as we pull up to the venue. I exist in the same space as him. I wear his ring. I carry his last name, but I'm not real to him anymore. I'm just part of the background, like expensive furniture he walks past every day without really seeing. When did it happen? When did I go from being his everything to being his nothing? Or maybe the real question is, was I ever really his everything? Or was I always just useful, just a means to an end? The cameras are already flashing as we step onto the red carpet, and I paste on the smile I've perfected over 3 years of playing the dutiful wife. But inside, I'm breaking. Inside, I'm screaming. And tonight, everything is about to change. The red carpet is blinding. Flashes everywhere, reporters shouting questions, and Grayson is in his element. He's smiling that billion-dollar smile, waving, playing the part of the tech genius philanthropist. A reporter pushes through the crowd, microphone extended toward us. Mr. Sterling and Mrs. Sterling, can you tell us about the groundbreaking work you've both been doing? I open my mouth to speak. I actually start to answer because, for once, someone is acknowledging that I exist in this partnership. But Grayson's hand tightens on my waist and he laughs. That charming, dismissive laugh that makes everyone else laugh along with him. My wife dabbles in tech, he says, and the words hit me like a slap. But I'm the real innovator here. She's my beautiful support system. Dabbles. He said I dabble, like I'm some housewife with a hobby, not the woman who spent 3 years coding the algorithm that made his company worth $8 billion. The reporter moves on, and we enter the ballroom. It's gorgeous, all crystal chandeliers and gold accents, filled with the most powerful people in tech, and that's when I see her. Bianca. She's across the room in a red dress that looks like it was painted onto her body, and the way she's looking at my husband makes my stomach drop to the floor. But it's the way he's looking back at her that destroys me. His eyes light up. Actually light up. The way they used to light up for me. He doesn't even excuse himself. He just gravitates toward her like she's magnetic and I'm invisible. I'm left standing alone at our table, and I can feel the other wives looking at me. Those pitying glances that say they all know something I've been trying to deny. I sit down, grip my champagne glass, and watch my husband put his hand on another woman's lower back. Watch him lean in close and whisper something that makes her giggle and touch his arm. My vision blurs, but I refuse to cry. Not here. Not in front of all these people. Instead, I remember. I remember sitting in our apartment 5 years ago, lines of code filling my laptop screen at 3 in the morning. I remember creating the quantum leap algorithm, the breakthrough that revolutionized quantum computing. I remember showing it to Grayson, his eyes wide with possibility. "This is incredible, Nalani. We're going to change the world with this." We. He said we. But when he presented it to investors, it became his algorithm, his innovation, his genius. And I sat in those board meetings, silent, watching him take credit for my brilliance while he told me it was better for the company if he was the face of it. You understand, don't you, baby? People trust me. They know my name. I trusted him. That was my mistake. Another couple approaches, asking where Grayson is. I lie through my teeth. "Business call," I say with a smile that feels like broken glass. But my eyes track him as he and Bianca slip away toward the balcony, and something inside me snaps. I stand up. My hands are steady now. My decision is made. It's time to stop being invisible. I follow them through the crowd, my heels clicking on marble, my heart pounding so loud I can hear it in my ears. The balcony doors are slightly open, and I can see their silhouettes in the moonlight. I should turn around. I should walk away. But I can't. I need to see it. I need to know for sure, even though I already know, even though I've known for months. I step closer, staying in the shadows, and that's when I see them kiss. His hands are in her hair, tangled in those perfect red waves, and he's kissing her the way he used to kiss me. Desperate, passionate, real. My hand flies to my mouth to stop the sob that's trying to escape, but I force myself to stay quiet, to listen. "When are you leaving her?" Bianca's voice is breathy, impatient. "I'm tired of hiding, Grayson. I'm tired of being your secret." He pulls back, cups her face in his hands. "Soon, baby. I promise. She's useful for my image right now. The black wife looks good for the board, for investors, you know? But you're who I actually want. You're who I've always wanted." Useful. That's what I am to him. A prop. A diversity checkbox. A good story for his company's mission statement. Bianca laughs, this cruel, tinkling sound. She's so pathetic, always trying to get your attention like a puppy begging for scraps. Does she really not know? They both laugh, and something inside me shatters completely. Or maybe it crystallizes, turns into something sharp and dangerous and done with being hurt. I step into the light. "How long?" Grayson's face goes white, actually white. "Nalani, this isn't what it looks like. How long?" I'm shouting now, tears streaming down my face, and I don't care who hears me. I don't care about anything except the answer. Bianca smirks at me, this satisfied little smile that says she's won. 6 months. He was never really yours, sweetheart. You were just convenient. My hand moves before my brain catches up. The slap echoes across the balcony, sharp and satisfying, and Bianca screams, stumbling backward, her hand flying to her face. For one beautiful second, that smirk is gone. Grayson grabs my arm, his fingers digging in hard enough to bruise. "Have you lost your mind? Control yourself. You're embarrassing me." I rip my arm away from him with a strength I didn't know I had. "Control myself? I gave you everything, Grayson. My code, my ideas, my algorithms, my life. I made you a billionaire and you can't even respect me enough to hide your affair." His face changes then. The mask drops completely, and what's underneath is cold. So cold. "You were always just the diversity hire I married for optics, Nalani. My board loved the story. Poor black girl from nothing. Brilliant tech CEO saves her, marries her, gives her a life. You should be grateful." The words hit me like bullets. Each one finds its mark, and I actually stagger backward. In that moment, something inside me dies. The part that loved him, the part that believed in us, the part that thought I mattered. It dies right there on that balcony. But something else is born, something fiercer, something that's done being invisible. I look him dead in the eye, my voice steady now. "You're going to regret this." Then I walk away. I return to the ballroom, and I know I must look like a mess. My makeup is running, my eyes are red, but I walk in with my head high. People stare. They whisper. I can feel their eyes on me like brands against my skin, but I don't care anymore. I'm done caring what they think. I'm done caring about anything except what's about to happen. I sit down at our table, the one that says Mr. and Mrs. Sterling on the little place card. How ironic. How absolutely devastatingly ironic. Grayson returns a few minutes later with Bianca on his arm. He doesn't even try to hide it anymore. Doesn't sit with me. He sits with her across the room, and the message is clear to everyone watching. His wife means nothing. His mistress means everything. The lights dim, and the host takes the stage. He's a distinguished older man in a tuxedo, and his voice booms through the sound system. "Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us at the 15th Annual Tech Innovators Gala. Tonight, we honor the brilliant minds that are shaping our future." My heart is racing. My palms are sweating. I grip the edge of the table and force myself to breathe. He has no idea what's coming. None of them do. For 3 years, I've been silent. For 3 years, I've let him take credit. Let him shine. Let him build his reputation on my work. But 6 months ago, something changed. 6 months ago, I hired a lawyer, the best intellectual property lawyer in the country, and I started building my case, piece by piece, patent by patent, line of code by line of code. I documented everything, every algorithm I created that he claimed as his own, every innovation that came from my mind but was presented to the world as his genius. And I waited for the perfect moment. This is that moment. And now, the host continues, the moment you've all been waiting for, the nominees for Tech Innovator of the Year. A screen descends behind him, and faces start appearing. Industry giants, people who've actually earned their recognition. And then Grayson's face fills the screen. He stands up, confident, waving to the crowd like he's already won. Like it's a foregone conclusion. The applause is polite, respectful. He's well-liked in this industry. Everyone thinks he's brilliant. And, the host says, and there's a pause that feels like forever. The revolutionary mind behind the quantum leap algorithm, which has transformed quantum computing as we know it. Nalani Okafor. My face appears on the screen. The room goes silent. Then confused applause starts to ripple through the crowd. I stand up, my legs somehow steady beneath me, and I start walking toward the stage. I can feel every eye in the room on me. I can see Grayson's face, frozen in shock, his mouth actually hanging open. Bianca looks confused and angry, like someone just told her the sky is actually green. I reach the stage, and the host hands me a microphone. He opens the golden envelope in his hands, and I watch his face as he reads the name. He looks surprised, then impressed. Then he smiles at me with genuine warmth. "Ladies and gentlemen," he announces, his voice ringing with finality, "the Tech Innovator of the Year is Nalani Okafor." The room explodes. The applause is deafening, thunderous, and I'm standing there holding the crystal award, feeling its weight in my hands, and I'm crying. But these aren't tears of sadness anymore. These are tears of vindication, of justice, of finally being seen. I look out at the crowd, at all these powerful people who never knew my name, who thought I was just Grayson Sterling's pretty wife, his diversity prop, his convenient accessory. And I take a breath. "Thank you," I say, and my voice is strong, stronger than I thought possible. 3 years ago, I created the algorithm that revolutionized quantum computing. I was 29 years old, working out of a tiny apartment in Oakland, and I believed I'd found something special. My husband, Grayson Sterling, agreed. He told me we'd change the world together. I pause, look directly at Grayson. His face is red now, a mixture of rage and panic. But together became his. My algorithm became his innovation. My code became his genius. My work became his empire worth $8 billion. And I was told it was better this way, that people would trust him more, that his name carried weight mine didn't, that I should be grateful for the opportunity. The room is dead silent now. You could hear a pin drop. Tonight, the Patent Office and the Tech Innovation Board have confirmed what I've known all along. The quantum leap algorithm is mine. The patents are mine. 47 other innovations credited to Grayson Sterling over the past 3 years are mine. The documentation is irrefutable. The evidence is absolute. And the truth, finally, is public. A standing ovation. People are actually standing, applauding, and some of the women in the crowd are crying. I see recognition in their eyes. They know this story. They've lived versions of it themselves. I gave him my work, my loyalty, my heart, my name. He gave me betrayal, erasure, and tonight, a public affair with his assistant. Gasps ripple through the crowd. But you can't erase the truth forever. You can't steal someone's brilliance and expect them to stay silent forever. To every woman who's been made invisible, who's been told to be grateful for crumbs while someone else feasts on your work, hear me. You are seen, you are valued, and you are brilliant. Don't let anyone dim your light. Not ever. I walk off that stage to a standing ovation, clutching my award, and for the first time in 3 years, I feel like myself again. I feel real, I feel powerful, I feel free. I'm walking off the stage, the award still warm in my hands, when Grayson intercepts me in the hallway. His face is twisted with rage, red and furious, and for a second I actually think he might hit me. "You scheming witch!" he hisses, getting close enough that I can smell the whiskey on his breath. "You'll ruin me. Everything I've built, everything I am, you're destroying it all." I look at him, really look at him, and I feel nothing. No love, no anger, not even hate. Just emptiness where he used to live in my heart. "No, Grayson," I say, my voice calm and cold as ice. "You ruined yourself. I just stopped protecting you." That's when I see them. 2 men in suits approaching from behind him, and one of them is carrying a folder I recognize. Grayson hasn't noticed them yet. He's too busy trying to intimidate me, like he's done for 3 years. But those days are over. "Mr. Grayson Sterling?" The taller man steps forward, and Grayson spins around. "You're being served for intellectual property theft, fraud, and breach of contract. These documents detail the Patent Office's findings regarding the quantum leap algorithm and approximately 47 other innovations wrongfully attributed to you." I watch the color drain from his face, watch him grab the papers with shaking hands, watch his eyes scan the documents, and I see the exact moment he realizes what this means. He looks at me, and there's panic there now. Real, genuine panic. "The board voted you out this morning," I say quietly. 9-1. Apparently, once they saw the proof that you'd been stealing my work for 3 years, they didn't want a fraud representing their company. My patent, my algorithm, my company now. "You can't do this," he whispers, and he actually sounds like he's begging. "Nalani, please, we can work this out. We can—" "Grayson, what is she talking about?" Bianca appears from nowhere. her voice shrill with confusion and anger. She looks between us, and I can see her doing the math, seeing her future with a disgraced, broke ex-billionaire evaporate in real time. I turn to her, and I smile. A real smile. Enjoy him, Bianca. You're getting a broke, disgraced man who betrayed his partner and built his empire on stolen work. Sounds like a real prize to me. I walk away as he shouts my name, his voice echoing down the hallway. I don't look back. 3 months later, I'm standing in my new penthouse, the one I bought with my own money from my own company. The city sprawls beneath me, lights twinkling like stars, and everything feels possible. There are magazine covers with my face on them scattered across my desk. Forbes, Wired, Time's Most Influential. The headlines all say the same thing. Tech's hidden genius emerges from the shadows. Grayson is in court, fighting to keep anything from his former life. Last I heard, he lost the house, the cars, most of his assets. The company I built is thriving without him. Better without him, actually. And Bianca? I saw a photo last week of her dumping a coffee on him outside a courthouse. Guess she figured out what kind of man she'd really won. I pick up my wedding ring from where it's been sitting on my dresser for 3 months. I look at it one last time, remember the girl who put it on with such hope, such love, such stupid, blind faith. Then I drop it in a drawer and close it. That chapter is over. My phone rings. A major investor from Singapore wants to meet. They're interested in my new quantum encryption project. I answer with confidence, with power, with the knowledge that I did this. Me. Not him. Never him. They tried to make me invisible. Instead, they made me unforgettable. I learned something that night at the gala, something I wish I'd known 3 years earlier. Your worth doesn't come from someone who refuses to see it. Your power is yours, and they can only borrow it if you let them. And I'll never let anyone dim my light again.
If this story hit home, if you've ever felt invisible or undervalued, share this with someone who needs to hear it. Hit that subscribe button for more stories about rising from betrayal stronger than ever. Because karma never forgets. And neither do I. Remember this. The person who betrays you is never stealing from you. They're revealing themselves. Your value was always yours. They just stopped deserving access to it. The moment you realize that, you stop being a victim and become unstoppable. Don't let anyone write your story but you. Don't let anyone take credit for your brilliance, and never ever let them make you feel like you should be grateful for the crumbs when you baked the entire cake. See you in the next one.